Hello and welcome. I'm Dr. Jackie Kider, a professor here at the University of Arizona Global Campus. I'm going to be your host for this session, PLCs, a meeting approach that celebrates all voices. By joining us today, you acknowledge that this session is being recorded and will be shared with TLC-related materials. Microphones will be muted for this presentation, but we encourage you to post questions and comments in the chat. Also, we have enabled the live transcription. If you would like to use it, click the live transcription button at the bottom of your Zoom window. Now, I'm pleased to introduce you to Debbie Carpenter, Dr. Denise Maxwell, Dr. Julie Adkins of the University of Arizona Global Campus. Presenters, the microphone is yours.
Thank you so much, Jackie. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us as we present PLC. Julie, can you go back one slide? Thank you. Thank you for joining us as we present PLC, a meeting approach that celebrates all voices. I am joined by Drs. Denise Maxwell and Julie Adkins, and we appreciate your interest today. Next slide. We'd like to begin with an engagement activity. I'd like you to please open your Zoom chat box at the bottom of your screen. And I want you to consider this question. When you think of department meetings, what's the first reaction or thought that comes to mind? Type your answer in the chat now, and let's see what your immediate reactions are. I'm hopeful that I will be able to see chat. If you could type in your Zoom chat box, that would be great. Okay, so I'm seeing excited. I'm getting to see, yay, I get to see and talk to my colleagues. Okay, looking forward to collaboration. Any other thoughts? Well, I appreciate that positivity. Today, we wanted to share a meeting approach with you, one that may change the sentiments that you have expressed today or validated them. So this year, we have tried to embrace a professional learning community approach, or PLC. A professional learning community focuses on learning, application to one's practice, and collaboration. We've tried to keep three big ideas in mind. Big idea one, ensuring faculty learn. This involves examining data and determining where we want to focus our intentions. Big idea two, a culture of collaboration. A team works together, makes decisions together, and every voice is valued. Big idea three, a focus on results. At the end of the year, we survey the team and faculty and evaluate what has worked and what hasn't before determining next steps. Our approach is supported by research, suggesting that a traditional large group meeting format is not conducive to active participation. When faculty are encouraged to participate in small groups, more voices are heard and learning becomes more meaningful. The ripple effect is what matters most, the connection between faculty engagement and student outcomes. Supporting student success requires the dedication and support of faculty who also feel valued and empowered in their roles. Meetings that take a PLC approach that encourage and empower faculty to collaborate help faculty to feel empowered to integrate collaborative practices in their own classrooms. Faculty to faculty interaction promotes faculty to student interaction, and that's the ripple effect. So beginning in January of 2022, the meeting structure in the DEL, the Department of Education and Liberal Arts, has been divided into two parts, each part designed to be roughly an hour in length. In part one, Denise welcomes faculty and makes specific connections between the mission of the DEL and the work faculty members are doing to support the mission. This good work is framed by empower, encourage, educate. Department-wide updates, special reports, and deliberations from the Faculty Engagement Committee round out Part 1. In Part 2, two remaining committees, the Professional Development Committee and the Faculty Support and Development Committee, rotate each month and plan 45 minutes of lead learner activity. Lead learners from the designated committee facilitate small group breakout sessions of 4 to 6 faculty, centered on specific content or essential questions. Small groups meet, share ideas, and make personal application of the content shared. Because the groups are intimately sized, it's easier for all group members to feel comfortable sharing. The designation of different lead learners every time ensures that all members of the DEL have leadership and presentation responsibilities. Diverse perspectives are shared, and learning is more meaningful. Meetings in the FSD, or Faculty Support and Development Committee, take on a similar approach of collaboration and celebrating all voices. At the beginning of 2022, we examined 2021 associate faculty performance data and as a group what we thought a PLC approach might look like for our specific committee. Based on a review of data, we prioritized initiatives that would address our particular deficiency. In this case, it was instructive feedback on the rubric. We met in small breakout sessions and determined what initiatives we wanted to prioritize and how we wanted to divide responsibilities. As needs changed with the new UAGC standard teaching expectations, the committee flexed a bit. Ultimately, the FSD committee developed and implemented 3 initiatives this year, all designed to provide instructive feedback and model instructive feedback for our faculty. At the end of 2022, all FSD members will be surveyed again about the success of the committee's initiatives, ideas for 2023, and we will also consider examining qualitative and quantitative data to assess what our associate faculty need most. All through the year, FSD members have been encouraged to weigh in, share their voices, and vote on all important decisions that impact the team. When FSD members are engaged and valued, this ripple effect is felt by the associate faculty who were reviewed, coached, and mentored by FSD. Julie will now engage us in an activity where we consider the benefits and challenges of the PLC approach.
So before we discuss the benefits and challenges to the PLC approach, we wanted to activate your prior knowledge utilizing the whiteboard feature in Zoom. Once the whiteboard is activated, you will see the letter T on the left-hand side. You will then click this feature so you can type on the whiteboard. On the left side of your screen, type the benefits of a PLC approach, and on the right side of your screen, type the challenges that you might feel exist with a PLC approach. If you're feeling a little tech savvy, you can also change the color of your font to purple for benefits and blue for challenges. You also want to make sure you are in full screen mode by clicking the view button in the top right-hand corner of your screen and then select full screen. So I'm going to stop sharing so I can activate this whiteboard. And hopefully it is up and running. And you'll see, hopefully you'll see the T. And if for whatever reason you cannot utilize the whiteboard, you can go ahead and just put your ideas in the chat. Let's see. Right. See, some may require planning time. Interact with peers takes time, better communication. Okay. Give it another minute. Got one more, connections with others. Okay. I'm gonna, yes, and like Debbie said, feel free to type in the chat if for whatever reason you can't use the whiteboard. Okay, yeah, the function isn't working. Sorry, Stephanie. All right, well, I'm going to close the whiteboard. Like you could start like Debbie had said, you can certainly put your comments in the chat. I'm going to share my screen again. There we go. Debbie, are we good? Yeah, okay.
Yes.
All right. So many of you did capture the benefits of the PLC approach, which include a feeling of shared ownership and engagement, multiple voices and perspectives, application to practice, and faculty feeling empowered. The PLC approach gives all faculty an opportunity to engage because according to a 2016 Harvard Business Study, about 65% of staff do not feel comfortable contributing to the conversation during meetings. As a result, we miss out on hearing the voices and perspectives of others that could enhance ideas and strategies to better serve and support our students. These PLC breakout sessions foster greater engagement because faculty are placed in smaller groups, which helps to create a less intimidating environment. It also helps to break up the monotony of your typical meeting, and the conversation can become more focused. When faculty actively participate in a collaborative professional learning community, learning is enhanced and becomes more meaningful. As a result, faculty are then empowered to utilize this knowledge to improve upon their practice to enhance student success. Now, Dr. Denise Maxwell will share with you some of the challenges that come with creating professional learning communities.
Thanks, Debbie. As you're considering how you might embrace the PLC approach with your team, program, or committee, what might be some of the challenges you can anticipate? Of course, this approach might take a different design depending on the nature of your team. Some of the challenges we considered and have attempted to address, both through the implementation of the PLC approach in the FSD team and for the monthly faculty meetings within the Department of Education and Liberal Arts, are listed on this slide. Whenever you consider engaging team members in greater collaboration, decision-making, data analysis, and other components of the PLC approach, you need to be transparent about the additional time that is required from all members on the team. Collaboration requires communication. And to effectively communicate, time must be devoted to interacting and preferably in face-to-face communication, or AKA what we call Zoom meetings. For example, planning for the Dell breakout sessions generally requires one meeting prior to the session to discuss the content and the expectation for both the facilitators and the participants. The FSD committee meetings generally require more time to engage in communication. However, moving out of individual silos for thinking and working into interactive, collaborative spaces continue to contribute to greater problem solving and brainstorming of possible ideas. Engaging members in the purpose for collaborating the PLC approach is best done through experiencing the benefits of connecting with colleagues and experiencing more ownership for decisions. This approach allows for more voices to be considered and contributed. The PLC approach allows for dividing the ownership and the leadership. More voices are brought forward to consider other perspectives, while engaging more faculty as the leader of the discussion. We like to refer to this role as the lead learner. This lead learner will do a deeper analysis of the data, content, or proposal. This role helps develop more leadership skills in all members on the team. The fourth challenge is similar to the development of leadership skills. There is more balanced participation from all faculty. The PLC approach results in the engagement of all members to bring forward their voice, be on screen, and contribute to the discussion. The connection to our students and their role in their careers beyond their degree completion is the expectation of greater collaboration and interaction with colleagues in their career field. The more faculty can speak to the benefits of collaborating as a professional learning community, the more connections students can make to this approach in their career field. On the next slide, let's take a look at strategies for implementing a PLC approach. Strategies you might consider: be a risk taker or the lead learner with this approach. Define the purpose and objective for implementing this approach, and then just venture into the process. Be mindful of asking for input and feedback along the way. One way to seek input from the participants is by engaging a member on the team to conduct a needs survey. What is working? What recommendations can they offer for the group to consider? Transparency about why you are implementing this approach to align with the vision and hope you have for this process will engage input from others regarding possible next steps or revisions in the approach. The more the team takes ownership of this approach to collaboration, learning from each other, hearing more discussion about an initiative or an idea will result in greater ownership of the outcome. Seeking the voice and input from more participants will generate more ownership for the decision-making as well. The more engagement faculty have for decisions and assessment of the success of an approach generally results in more team ownership and pride in the initiatives. People will have more ownership when they have more voice in the topics under consideration and the selection of topics that align to what is important to their work. Julie will now share next about feedback from the faculty and the Dell regarding the use of the PLC approach in our meeting structures.
So what is the Dell saying about this new PLC approach to our monthly meetings? After a brief survey was conducted, the overwhelming response was that faculty felt connected and engaged. They appreciated the sharing of ideas from multiple voices and having the ability to interact with colleagues in a more intimate setting that included faculty from different departments. They valued the opportunity to learn and grow based on relevant topics that will enhance our collective work in supporting the success of our students. Some areas that our Dell faculty suggested as areas of needed improvement included not having enough time to collaborate with colleagues. A suggestion to remedy this issue was just to meet with one small group for a longer amount of time instead of multiple groups. Another suggestion was varying the topics so it wasn't always focused on academia, and instead giving faculty an opportunity to get to know one another on a more personal level. Finally, some faculty felt overwhelmed with the extra prep work required in order to prepare for the Dell PLC breakout sessions. This area of improvement has already been addressed within all 3 Dell committees who facilitate these breakout sessions, and therefore are more mindful of requiring minimal prep work. Overall, the PLC breakout sessions seems to be well received in the Dell. Now, Debbie Carpenter will close out our session with another question for us to consider.
So once more in the chat, if you could open your Zoom chat box, how does it feel to be involved and to have your ideas heard? How could you apply a PLC approach in your own setting to encourage further collaboration or engagement? I'm curious to know your takeaways. You'll notice that we do give you that image, share that image once again of the ripple effect, as we feel strongly that an approach like this, where we engage faculty, in turn, that ripple goes out and is felt in the individual classrooms of our faculty. So we may be having some issue with the chat. I know we're typically a chatty bunch. Jackie, thank you. I enjoy ending up in rooms with team members I don't always work with. Isn't that true? Having the chance to engage more with all or with new people you don't get to chat with in our busy week. Good. Excellent. Sherry, I see you. I don't know if I can hear you, but
I was just going to say that even though I sometimes dread having to do the extra work or having to be on camera, it ends up making me feel like the meeting was more meaningful and useful in the end. And I definitely like that there are goals that are clearly stated, and because it makes the meetings again feel more meaningful. So if we have like a task to accomplish, it makes me more invested in the meeting and more willing to contribute to try to kind of accomplish clear goals.
Sherry, thank you for sharing that and for being candid in your feelings. I think that you're probably not alone in that, but I love the idea of, getting out of your comfort zone a bit, getting in front of the camera and knowing that if you have a purposeful task, that can make it feel like it was worth it to step out of your comfort zone. So I appreciate that. And Steph, thank you for sharing. Adult learners need and want to be engaged. We feel connected when we are. When we engage with each other, our perspectives are broadened and learning is expanded. Steph, you remind me just in our last little breakout session, you reminded me of something that I wanted to reach out to you again about. And that's as a result of our small group conversation that we wouldn't have had an opportunity to have had we not instilled a PLC approach. So thank you for that. Any other thoughts?
If I can loop back to something that Julie shared earlier about the research that I think about 65% of people feel uncomfortable speaking up in a large group. And when you're in this smaller group setting, for some reason, it feels a little bit of a safer space. And so people feel more like they can honestly share. And also then we get feedback that way so that we can hear how are people really feeling about an initiative, or what idea do they have to contribute so that we can think about making some adjustments. So that smaller group setting provides us, I don't know if it's intimacy, but it provides a safer space.
Absolutely. And Denise, I love the comment that Michelle makes about reducing that sense of hierarchy. In a PLC approach, everyone's a leader and everyone's a learner. So it's just a matter of who happens to be leading within a specific day and time, and who is there to provide good ideas. So I love that. It really just kind of levels everyone and empowers everyone to want to participate. And Stephanie, your comment is important too, and in that if we want to have members excited about the opportunity to collaborate, it shouldn't have felt like a monumental chore to be ready for that, because we have to remember that all of our colleagues are leading busy lives and have numerous initiatives on their plates. So when the prep work is intentional and thoughtful with regard to the time sensitivity, I think that that's very important, and I think that paid off with our last meeting. And yes, it's nice to just kind of chat and laugh with people that aren't in our departments or programs that we don't get to talk to a lot of the time. So great points. And Heather, I want to make sure I catch your culture of care for faculty. That sounds fascinating. And I do think that, again, if the ripple is going to be felt out, if it's going to be strong, faculty need to feel cared about as well. And I think that is a very important topic that as a university, we need to continue talking about. Okay, so next year. I'm advocating for that, Heather. I officially advocate. And I've said that in public. Well, I certainly welcome any additional thoughts, but do want to make sure that I take an opportunity to thank all of you, all of the attendees, both in Zoom and on the Whova app. As I'm sure that there are others, want to thank you so much for attending our presentation. And we hope that you have learned the rationale behind an approach that allows for more voices at the table and promotes the ripple effect that ultimately supports student success. Please feel free to reach out to any of us, Dr. Denise Maxwell, Dr. Julie Atkins, or myself at Deborah Carpenter at uagc.edu. We'd love to talk to you more about this approach. You're welcome.
Thanks, Jackie, for being here as a facilitator, and we hope that we expand the use of the whiteboard in future Zoom meetings.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, everybody.
It was my pleasure. Thank you for taking the time to share this with us.
And Sherry Ketchum, what is the topic of your presentation? We'll have to find your name. 1:30, I thought I saw. Yeah, there's, 1 p.m. Great stuff. Well, thanks, everyone. I will turn it back over to Jackie.
Well, that's it. We thank you for your time. And